Hello and welcome to 1 hour of traumatic stories for you to fall asleep to. Now I know that might sound rather strange, but allow me to explain. So apparently there's demand for videos like this, and these traumatic stories are not any old traumatic stories. These are stories of strange events that I've experienced in my lifetime. Whether it's a friend drunk driving and causing a hell of an incident, whether it be a friend who tries to physically attack a man's girlfriend, I've got all the traumatic stories for you, and I'm only 21 years old, so imagine how much I'll have to tell you once I'm 22. You'll only know if you subscribe, and my main goal for the Minecraft side of things is to reach the moon. That's the sun. So sit back and relax while I collect stacks upon stacks of iron to build my rocket ship. Let's start with a story that involves drink driving. Now, I just want to leave a disclaimer here. Don't ever drink and drive. It's a stupid idea, and you are more than likely going to put other people in harm's way more than yourself, and you will absolutely regret it, which is what my friend did. So, it all begun when we went to an Airbnb across the side of the UK. It was a beautiful Airbnb in a beautiful location, and you know, I would absolutely go again, albeit with a different group, but I would. Anyway, we were craving a night out. We'd been there for almost a week, and it was just feeling like we were missing that one big event. Jackpot on the cave, by the way. But there is a whole range of mobs here that need to be killed, so I'm going to have to be very careful. Anyways, we all started consuming potions, and we were all fairly drunk, which is why the necessary thing to do would be to get an Uber. So we did. We called an Uber, my cousin arrived, Manpreet, and we got on our way. Sorry, there's a lot of mobs here that's kind of throwing me off. Would you mind? Thank you. Anywho, we arrive at the pub, and I have this one friend, and by the way, everybody will remain nameless in this story, and I'm also going to change some details so it won't be easy to identify them. This one friend had been consuming a little too much alcohol, and we noticed that he may or may not have a problem, so we had previously sat him down to talk about it, but it didn't seem like we were able to stop him at this point, because he wandered off in the pub and started drinking on his own. Anyways, that's one friend. Another friend was also drunk, but he decided to drive. Now again, I didn't actually know he'd brought his car until later on in the story when something happened. So if you're wondering why I hadn't reported it, it's because I had absolutely no idea. He had lied to us. The night continued on. Everyone was drunk partying. We decided to move to a club. The club was an absolute disaster. In fact, it was probably one of the worst clubs I'd ever been to. And I live in a city called Birmingham from the United Kingdom. And if you're familiar with Birmingham, it's one of the worst cities in the entirety of Europe. So the club was terrible. It was time to head home. We called the Ubers and got in. Now, the one friend who had overconsumed and has an evident drinking problem was going absolutely haywire. And this is where things take a dark turn. This guy was so drunk, he was shouting at random civilians in the street. Not appropriate behavior. So, we got him in the Uber, and we sent him on his way. Now, we did actually put him in the last Uber, which probably wasn't a good idea, But this set him off even more because he was angry that I and this other girl, who will remain nameless, did not share our Ubers with him. I mean, you can't blame us, he was in a dreadful state. The Uber sets off and we arrive back at the Airbnb. A fairly okay night, although I would have preferred better. By the way, I'm cooking up some iron armor because I am not prepared to be down here all on my own without any defense. We get back to the Airbnb and the one friend arrives in the taxi last. Now, all I hear is screaming from downstairs. I'm thinking, what's going on? I run down and I see the rather drunk individual run screaming with a fist in the air directly towards this girl who joined us on the trip. My other friend, who we will call Superman in this story, grabbed him just before he could have done anything. This is the girl who didn't share an Uber with him, by the way. She literally was a millimeter from being brutally attacked, and she survived. Anyway, the alcohol-induced individual is now screaming and kicking in a headlock, which, I'm not going to lie, was quite embarrassing, and I do feel bad for him, and I hope that he is finding the help that he needs. But this particular instance was just tragic to look at. He's crying his eyes out, telling me that he's going to get a knife while we're all sleeping and kill us. Bear in mind there's about 20 of us in the Airbnb, so we all hide in the kitchen, and the individual who had the alcohol-induced friend in a headlock dragged him all the way to the living room. Now, we are all in the kitchen, absolutely terrified and traumatized. So we go to bed and we barricade our doors with furniture. And again, this is why alcohol is such a dangerous thing that I would never recommend is abused. I believe that social drinking is okay if you are responsible, but that does not apply to everybody. Some people have different reactions to the drink. So it's important that you do not behave like this man and you learn to not make the same mistake. That looks absolutely horrifying. We will not be going over there. There's about 5 creepers, if you've closed your eyes, by the way. So just as we're falling asleep, the night's continuing on, we receive a call, going back to the friend who was driving around while drunk. He has in fact been pulled over by the police and arrested for swerving around in lanes irresponsibly. He is taken to a police station and has to sleep there until the following morning, to which he wakes up and regrets absolutely everything. He actually took a driving awareness course and has learnt from his mistakes. I've kept a very close eye on him and he is a very good friend of mine. Okay, let's move on to a less intense story. Probably not the greatest story to fall asleep to, but you know, some of you guys fall asleep to absolutely anything. I think in one of my videos I spoke way too fast, and I still had comments saying that you guys fell asleep to it, so hey, maybe I'm doing a good job. Who knows? Sometimes people like intense stuff to fall asleep to. The next story is a fairly dark story for me. It was my first time experiencing any sort of direct racism. Now, if you hadn't figured it out, I am of the Indian ethnicity. I've mentioned this a lot now, because it makes it easier to make Indian jokes knowing that I'm Indian. But I probably won't be mentioning it again because it feels like I'm obsessing over it a bit, although it is a pretty cool thing to be. I mean, I can make tech support jokes all I want and you can't stop me. Anywho, this holiday I went on was to New York City, and oh my goodness, I had dreamt as a kid to go to this beautiful city. I grew up poor, like many people around the world do. And I said, Mom, one day I'm going to go to New York and I'm going to go on the Statue of Liberty. I loved skyscrapers as a child, and it was just everything to me. So off I went with 4 friends. We went on a wonderful trip. It was a great group. I have nothing but good memories. Now the story begins at the airport, where they stopped me because they thought I had a bomb. No, I'm just kidding. That did not happen. See, I can make those jokes because I let you know I was Indian in advance. So, at the very end of the trip, I wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty, and everybody agreed to it because, hey, it's the Statue of goddamn Liberty. And if you're British, seeing these things are really cool. America is super cool if you're British, or it's super lame, depends who you are as a person. So off we went, and just as we'd gotten through the, I guess, customs, where they like check your bags before you board this ferry, just after we got through there was this huge queue. I say queue, it was certainly not a queue. It was a clump of people in a massive crowd. If you've ever visited the Statue of Liberty, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so we wedged our way into the group, into the crowd, because there was no clear... Oh, that's water. Amazing. There was no clear queue. Anyway, behind me, I feel something hitting me in the foot. I look, and there is a mother with a pushchair. And I said to the lady, would you mind not ramming me with your pushchair? We're all getting on the same ferry, you know. She then looked at me and she went absolutely haywire. She said, you pushed into the queue, which was a crowd, by the way, and the ramp that came down from the customs area merged into the middle. So I just followed that, which, you know, if I'd known it was a queue, I would have gone to the back. I'm not a notorious queue hopper. I'm more of a border hopper. Indian joke. Anyway. We are now boarding the queue is moving forward, and we are about to board the ferry, and the lady barges to the front, and I'm about to say something again until my friend stops me and says, Jacob, don't do it. She might have a gun. Now, I just want to say before anyone comments, don't ask me about my views on guns. I'm British. I have no interest, okay? But what I said next was purely based on my lack of education of America. I said, surely you're not allowed to take a gun to the Statue of Liberty. I feel like that's a reasonable question for a British person, right? I don't understand what you guys do with guns. We don't have them here. So, that was the worst thing I could have ever said. Because she then turned around, looked me in the eyes and said to me, Jacob. She didn't say to me, Jacob, how would she have known my name? I don't know where that came from. She said to me, sir, if you don't like it, you can go back to your country. Oof. Now, to an ethnic person, that is the ultimate racism comment. And she was implying India. which, you know, she obviously wasn't saying England. I doubt she would have said, go back to England. Like, that just sounds like a compliment, right? So off I went on the plane back to India. No. I was shocked, and I'm not someone who particularly cares about things like this. I'm not going to get upset over a comment like that. I don't really care. It's a funny story that stuck with me, and I actually laugh about it. But I guess that could be because I am in fact traumatized, that I just can't forget it. Could be either. So, as we were moving further in the queue, this young girl is just saying to me, don't worry, they're just racists, and, you know, all the isms and the ists, calling them everything. And I mean, God knows what they were. They certainly weren't nice people. And I say they because her husband, who was holding a baby, was stood next to me. And by the way, I'm laughing at this point. No, I'm thinking, I just got hate crime for the first time. This is awesome. I need to tell my mom. I need to tell somebody. And I turn to the right, and her husband says to me, it's not funny, you know. And he has these sunglasses on, and I see my own face in the reflection, looking at him, smiling. So I laugh even more, because it's like that moment in school when you make eye contact with your best friend, when your teacher tells you something traumatic, and you just burst out laughing even though it's just not appropriate. Anyways, the queue moved forward, the ferry went on. We arrived to the island and I never saw her again. But I did meet someone else who, again, will remain nameless, because what he said was absolutely diabolical. He came up to us and was like, you guys are British. And we were like, yeah. And he was pointing to different, like, races and cultures and saying, do you guys have them ones over in your country? What do you mean, them ones? Anyways, that was my story of the Statue of Liberty. Just a bunch of racists. Which I was surprised, because I thought New York was one of the more open-minded states. I guess not. Please, I would love to be educated on the matter, because I have absolutely no idea what's happened. But that is the story. Still was the greatest trip of my life. I went to Michigan as well afterwards, and that was also absolutely brilliant. Okay, I think we've nearly got enough iron. Before I move on to the third and final story, we have nearly 2 stacks of iron. That's more than enough, right? Oh, we're doing so good, guys. I don't know why I didn't do this before. Isn't mining such a satisfying sound? The last clump now, guys. I can't really see any more anyway, and I'd like to go home and build a rocket ship. Let's head on up. Nope, sorry, I need to collect more. Just in case, guys, you don't know how much steel you need for these things. Nope, scary sound. I'm leaving. That is completely horrifying. I should probably get some redstone, right? I feel like you need this stuff. No? I might be... Uh-oh. Can I mine this with stone? Nope. Okay, let's get out of here then. Okay. Let's move on to the third and final story. My childhood experience at school. Well, one childhood experience at school. I've got a lot of childhood experiences to tell, And by the way, I'm winging telling these stories because I feel like it just flows better. It might flow terribly worse, but at least I'm being authentic than robotic, right? Let me know what you guys would prefer. And please leave a comment. I replied to every single comment last video. And for some reason, a video about me having a hangover got pushed just ever so slightly into the algorithm. And I got a pretty big increase in following. So thank you all. And if you are a returning viewer, I hope that I'm able to help you sleep, relax, and study for more nights. And if you're new, definitely subscribe. So, everybody has a bully story, right? We've all been bullied in some way, shape, or form. It's not nice. I do think it's a part of character development. It toughens you up because guess what? The real world isn't nice. And if we're going to go into it all funky-dory, then we're not going to survive. We need to be strong. I'm also going to add that I don't condone bullying, but if it happens, you know, take the positives from it. What did you learn? To watch your back, to stand your ground, and so on and so forth. Oh, Christ. Christ. No. Okay, let's mine straight up because that was the most horrifying thing ever. I went to a school that had culture wars. It's probably why I make so many Indian jokes today. Maybe that's as a result of my traumatic events. But if you were one religion or another, you know, people didn't like it. England is very diverse, and especially in the more recent years. And so, you know, there's inevitably going to be a cultural clash of religions and beliefs. And I fell victim to this. There is a culture, which I will not name because I don't want to stir division, that does not like where I'm from and what I believe in. And so individuals who followed that culture would find ways to make my life at school a living hell. And it's sad that it had to be that way. But it happened. And once one of my friends was like, you should just fight them. So I did. And I really wish I didn't. But the outcome is quite interesting. I was dragged into this bushy alleyway within the school premises, by the way. I have no idea why there is a bushy alleyway where teachers cannot see, but it exists, perfect for, you know, a bully to absolutely rip you into a million pieces. And at this point, I'm probably in year 9, which, just to explain to an American, it means that I'm about 14 years old and about 2'1". So I'm absolutely tiny. Home's this way. So I'm not really built for fighting, and also I was clinically underweight. I still am quite underweight growing up, so I was just extremely weak. So I was not ready for this fight, and my opponent came forwards and he punched me in the face. I said I didn't want to fight at this point. I was like terrified. And he just did it. He punched me right in the face. Actually, it's quite dark recalling this story. And pushed me into a bush. And so I was like, do you know what? No, I'm not doing this anymore. And I essentially pushed him into another bush. And I felt so big. And then he picked me up and pushed me back into a bush. And then I pushed him into a bush and pushed him as deep as I possibly could into there. And I could see the anger in his face kicking in. He was ready to destroy me. Can I do this? No, I can't. Let's make another blast furnace, I think. Okay, luckily we can make some smooth stone. We want to cook this iron, right? So let's do it. And we'll make... Oh, we've got everything. We just need one more iron cooked. Anyways, he came out the bush and then pushed me into one more bush. I know, this story's so great, isn't it? Bush upon bush. And then someone behind him was like, go on, punch him, and pushed him into me. His eye hit into my tooth. God knows how that happened, but it did. And I did not get enough coal for this, so I'm going to head back down. I'm going to sleep first, and then I'll head back down to just a closer cave and grab some. Anyways, his eye is killing now. It's black, it's purple, it's in pain. He's got a black eye from my tooth. And I didn't tell anybody that was what happened. Everybody else was like, ooh, look, you've got a black eye from Jxcob. What are you going to do? You're weak, this, that. And I just stayed quiet and let it happen because the chaos was sort of just unfolding in front of me. And I'm not an evil person at heart. I didn't want to start more problems and make my own life a bigger hell. But anyway, then we got to drama class. That's right. Me and the bully did drama GCSE together. So do with that information what you will. And anyhow, I was sat down and I heard him talking about how I'm this and I'm that, and he destroyed me, and he was making me seem like just an absolute loser to everybody. Not even in terms of the fight, just in general, just dragging my family down, my life. So I told everyone that I gave him a black eye by punching him. And I think he absolutely deserved it. Since then, though, we've become something of friends. We look past that. But some of the other people, put it like this. They picked on me too. And once I was coming home from school, I was walking because I thought, do you know what? It's a sunny day. I'm going to walk. And by the way, I don't know what you call a high street in America, but we have like main streets that have shops along, and I would walk along there. And it got to a point where I was just terrified to walk there because the people who hated me would hang around that area, and I would be horrified of them. Anyways, I decided to fight my fears. I should be allowed to walk wherever I want, whenever I want. So I did. And next thing you know, there's a bully, two of them actually, stood on the corner. I see them, I panic. I walk into WH Smith as quickly as possible. WH Smith, if you're from America, sorry, I'm actually getting sad telling this story because I was so horrified as a kid. I ran into that store. It's like a book and stationery store. Horrified. And by the time I was in there, they'd ran in and they cornered me in the store. And they said, give me your money. Now, I was quite smart with things like this. I would say, I have no money. And then when they'd be like, yeah, you do, I'd be like, fine. And I'd go into my bag and go into a pocket where I obviously had like spare change at the bottom of, and just gave them like 10p and was like, there, you have it. Why have I got wheat here? How do I get rid of this? I don't want this. Can I? No, I don't want to cheat it in. How do I? That's weird. Anyway. I was basically giving them pennies, and I had about 10, 20 pounds in my wallet, which they did not know I had. And thankfully they didn't get. But in this moment, I'm in this store and nobody's helping me. There's staff around watching me get cornered as a kid. It's one of those bystander things where I don't understand. It's the bystander effect. Everyone thought someone else would help. And just as I was about to burst into tears. A kind lady did. And she said, "Go away, get lost." She got rid of them and she walked me home. And that woman, honestly, she made me confident that the world actually has some nice people left in it. How do I make steel again? Oh gosh, I need way more coal. So, she walked me home, and from that day, I never walked the high street again. Luckily, I grew bigger and more confident, and I went to college. Now there's another bully, and this bully was the worst of them all. He tormented me as much as he could, made me terrified to come into school, said he was going to beat me up. He had terrible anger problems. And he decided one day that he was going to basically grab me by my jumper and pull me around, and my tooth got stuck in like his jumper, or my braces did, and they ripped out. Long story short, my mum rang the school and he basically got in trouble, but having your mum call the school is honestly a setup for more bullying, so it's sort of catch-22 in these situations. I'd finally gone to college. I'd left this school. I was free from these, horrible people. And then I hear a rumor 6 or 7 months later, don't say it. This rumor that apparently he was still talking crap about me, saying that I'm this and I'm that, and he's going to rob me, and that he's going to beat me up, and that he hates me, and that I'm a failure. You know, these words didn't really affect me anymore, at least. I'd grown past them, and they mean nothing from someone of such hatred. I need to make a rocket next, so let's see what's needed. Steel blocks. Let's start with the steel blocks. Oh, it stays in there. Perfect. I was truthfully not caring anymore. But then 3 months later, keep in mind, we're 9 months out of school now and into college. I'm thinking, I'm hearing that he's still talking about me. And I thought, I'm just never going to shake him off. He's going to torment me for the rest of my life, and I'm always going to hear about it. And then I stopped and I thought, I need to be smart about this. How am I going to deal with this? And I had it. I had the perfect answer. I told everybody who was telling me this information that I thought he had a crush on me and that he's obsessed with me. Because I wasn't even thinking about him at this point. I don't know what on earth was going through his head to keep talking about me. And once I'd spread that rumor, I never heard a thing from him again. And that is the story of how I overcame these horrible bullies. A very traumatic series of events, but has developed me into the man that I am today, which is someone who's attempting to put people to sleep while playing Minecraft. So, you know, we're figuring it out as we go along. Anyways, I think I'm going to mine some coal now. And if you have any traumatic stories that you'd like to share, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. And also subscribe. You've stayed this long, you clearly like the sound of my voice or find the stories interesting. You may as well stick around. I'm a nice guy. Fine. Sometimes my jokes are a bit dark, but life's dark. This coal is dark. And everyone needs a torch once in a while. I have no idea what that means. Anywho, we're cooking up the iron now. We're turning it into steel. And I believe we're about to have ourselves a rocket ship. If this would hurry it up. I think I only need 8 for things like this, right? So the rest can go in here. Okay. I should probably craft some steel plates too. Remind me how to do that again? You have to compress. Got it. While this is cooking, I just wanted to say, I actually thought those 3 stories would take up the whole hour. I think I'll spend the rest of the video just cooking and conversating and relaxing. I have a few other traumatic events or things that really got to me growing up that I'd like to share still. So do stick around if you're interested in hearing that while I work my way up to this rocket ship, which I'm now figuring out how to craft. Let's cook up this. Here, I will put that in there and go and get some more coal. In fact, let's sleep first. I'll just spend the rest of the video building the rocket ship. Some peaceful gameplay with some peaceful talking. Look, guys, I'll just say this. Life is full of traumas, and all I can suggest is make something good out of them, learn from them, empower yourself from them. It's easier said than done. You can experience something, and then 5 minutes later, sorry, not in 5 minutes, you definitely wouldn't be able to be empowered after 5 minutes. You'd need recovery time. 5 years later, you may find yourself doing something great because of that experience. I had a lot of trauma growing up. My dad and my mom arguing, you know, my family are divorced. It's sad. But you know what? Growing up with just my mom there, it made me so much stronger. It made me respect how great women can be and how powerful they can be. Much more powerful than men in many ways, by the way. And that's not me trying to rizz up females in the audience. I promise. I'm just trying to say that moms are just so good. And they work so hard. And everything I do today is to impress her. Obviously with the side intention of, you know, playing Minecraft and enjoying it. I don't know how I found myself back in this cave again. I've been here before. Rather unfortunate. I'm struggling to find coal, to be frankly honest with you guys. I feel like I should have probably gotten more while I could have, while I was out there. Oh, here we go. Yeah, let me know if you guys have anything that you'd like to share. Oof. Right now, me and my mom, we don't live in the nicest area. We're not poor anymore. You know, she did it all on her own. She turned it around. And I'll tell that story in detail in a future video. Because moms are the best. But we don't live in a nice area right now. We got a mortgage where, well, my mom bought a mortgage when she could. where she could, for as much as she could afford, and we live in a house, and it's a nice house, just in a horrible area, unfortunately. There's shootings at the bottom of my road, stabbings around the corners. My mom paid a lot of money to get me into private school, that's the truth. She went without purely for me to go there. So that's why I have such a posh accent. I sound like I've been raised in the royal family, but I haven't. I just didn't want to throw away the education my mom sacrificed, our own, enjoyment and living and spending for. Now, my relationship with my dad, well, it's on and off. I keep him at arm's length. It's healthier for me. Again, he means well. He's just a very, very confused man. Well, that's the problem, isn't it? Confusion is ignorance in many ways. It can be, at least. And in this case, ignorance can actually harm a lot of people. A parent's ignorance especially. And that's another traumatic experience. Now, how about you say we get out of this cave and fly back up? If I can figure out how to get out. I think I'm going to get as much coal as possible. I don't trust that I won't need more. Looks like we can get out here too because there's grass there. Oh, this is a big vein. I don't know, I quite liked the classic Minecraft caves systems. Like, when the update came out, I was like, yes, finally caves! And then I was like, actually, I kind of liked how it was before. Hey-ho. Mr. Piggy? What's going on? Are you okay there? Do you need some help? Hello? Oh, little piggy. See, you thought I was going to kill him then. I made you think I was, because I had the sword. I need an easier way in because I do not like going down those stairs all the time. Okay, that's cooking up into steel now. And we have 19 of it in our inventory. So let's get crafting. I've made 2 more blocks. I think I only need 1 more block and then I should be able to... Oh, I need to make the copper thing. Is this it? Ah, yes! I'm getting there. The rocket nose cone. And we also need the fins. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 12 steel plates. Oh no, we need 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. (17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 27, 28, bear with me, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. Okay, so I'm going to need 34 of these steel plates by the looks of things. So, in fact, hang on. Just get these first and make the last block. And And then I believe the rest is just steel plates. I might be wrong, but we will try. Let's make the easiest one first, which is just that. So should be fairly straightforward. Here we go. 4 rocket fins, and they just go on the sides like so. We're getting close, guys. A steel tank. Okay, so we need iron plates and iron rods, and luckily we have a lot of iron left, so what if you cook iron? Can you cook iron? That's how you used to make steel in the old Minecraft mods. You would cook iron. Why is it not? I'm worried now. Why is this not working anymore? And why is the wheat crafting recipe still on the end? There's a keybind for this, right? Got it. I don't know what I pressed. It was A. Yeah, it's A. Okay, good. We can keep the rocket there then, so we know at least. I can clear it from there. I'm confused on why this isn't... Okay, well, I'll just move like a bit more in and then I will stop. If I break this, is it gonna... No, thank goodness. Oh, it's not being powered. Interesting, the coal generator is struggling. Aha, there we go. Now we just let the compressor do its thing. Wonderful. And while that happens, let's make a chest area because our storage system is quite lackluster, I feel. Maybe we extend out this way. By the way, I need to put a sign down of a comment. Let's see. A comment that I haven't seen, maybe? No. I've responded to all the comments. Okay, let's go with... At Atomic Dude. I thought this said, trigger warning, I'm Indian. And this is in response to a comment that I put that says, too long, don't watch. I'm Indian. And he thought I said, trigger warning, I'm Indian. And that is an A star comment right there. Welcome to the wall, Atomic Dude. We're so far in the video, I doubt you even know you're there. But if the off chance that you do know that, just know that I did in fact laugh out loud when that took place. Okay, let's craft. Forget the chest system. I'll just layer another chest here for now. That looks nice enough. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the rocket ship. We've got the fins, we need the steel tank. Or we'll just start with this thing. This thing looks more straightforward to do. Make the fan first, and then we'll make the... I need more rods. Make the frame, and then we can make the engine. Okay, we have our engine, guys. Everything's made of steel, apparently. Maybe this isn't going to be the greatest rocket I've ever made. Okay, what's next, Mr. Man? The steel tanks. So I need to cook up some iron plates. So I'm going to cook up about 16 of them, I'll say. We'll go with that. Do I need 16 of them? Probably not, right? 4, 8, 9, 10. I only need 10 of them, really. Okay, we'll go with this. And I'll make some rods. I don't need a seed. Get out of my inventory. And the recipe is the 4 and then the 1 in the corner. Okay, noted. So the 4 and then the 1 in the corner. Gas tank. Okay, it stores fluids and gases. Interesting. Do I need to fill that up before the rocket? I hope not. Okay. That mod that I just used is called mouse tweaks, by the way. You can highlight a bunch of stuff and move it around really quickly like this, holding down shift and right click. So now I have the 2 tanks. I probably need a few more. Oh, whoops, I accidentally put everything that I needed into the... Oh, I crafted the gas tank with all that I had left. Okay. I guess I need some more of these iron ingots. Iron plates, even. Wonderful, we're nearly done crafting. Whoops, don't know what the heck that was. 1, 2. Wait, are we done? It's here. The rocket. We have it. We've done it. We crafted the rocket. Yes. We're making great tracks. We did it. We did it. Oh. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. This is huge. Hold on. We need a launch pad. Yes. Yes. We have it. We have the rocket. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. We're going to put it here on display to show how far we've come. Give me that stone stuck in the ceiling. Oh, this is huge. Look at this, guys. Face it this way. Wow. Wow, it's not even centered because it's a blimming odd number. No. Who cares? We did it. I can stand next to it, see, like this. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for sticking around to the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And good night.